All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 4 of Star Trek Showa Station, a Star Trek Adventures actual play using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is ELH, the Game Master, and joining me are some lovely individuals who we'll get to know in a moment. First quick announcement is that unfortunately I had to cancel the premiere of Star Trek Aegir last week, but the good news is, knock on wood, barring any other randomness, the series premiere of Aegir will be this Friday at 9 p.m. Same place, same time as it was last week, aka this channel. So if you're interested in seeing the Aegir premiere, just know that it got moved up a week. Other than that, I see that chat's already redeeming some complications as turnabout is fair play. So let's just get introductions and get plans. So Lone Squiff, what do you got going on?
Hello, everyone. I'm Mal, aka Lone Swift, and I'll be playing Commodore Taraz, the commander of Showa Station. And if you check out ELH's channel on Friday, you will see me in the new Aegir game. Looking forward to playing with that.
Yeah, should be a good time. Cad, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Alex, also known as Cad Bane's Hat. Right now, with life being so busy, this is where you'll find me on things, and it's awesome.
Rocket, what do you got going on?
Hello, I am Rocket Fox. You can find me wherever Rocket Foxes can be found. But on Thursdays, I'm over on Sirenscape's channel playing a little Cyberpunk Red, as well as last Sunday of the month, I'm over on Cybernation Uncensored doing some Dune. And yeah, otherwise, I am your friendly neighborhood security cat named Shishi, and I'm excited to try and bring some order to this mess.
I don't know why this came to mind, but it's like you are literally hurting cats as a cat, and I don't know. That's funny to me. Just it tickles my
Oh, it's true.
I love it. All right, and certainly last but not least, Ars Animus. What do you got going on?
Hi, I'm Aris Animus. Katie, I play the Lieutenant Commander Vakoya, Chief Engineer of the station. And otherwise, I am just on Discord, Aris Animus.
There you go. All right, let's run that introduction and get things going. Oh, I think we did it. I don't think Chad heard about the Master Ball discussion. I think we're good.
Don't let them know.
Yeah, you just had to be here, chat. You just had to be here. But yeah,
It would be too much power.
yeah. Just if you knew what Twitch chat did sometimes, YouTube. Well, you know. Anyway, what we usually do here in Star Trek Adventures on the channels, we have the players do an opening log, and tonight, I believe Lieutenant Commander Vokaya, you have the honors. So take it away, and good luck.
Thank you. Chief Engineer's Log, stardate 0703.2. The delegation from the Averni have left the station after an amicable first contact. The Averni were particularly interesting in that they were floating jellyfish-like creatures that communicated through song. There's been quite the demand for the Averni music among the vendors on the Promenade now that they have left. I've heard that the Merchant Wham has the best recordings of some of the conferences that took place here on Showa, for the highest price, of course. I've also heard that the Frankie brothers have been caught numerous times already trying to steal Wham's original data storage device, as well as tap into some of the secured recordings of the proceedings. No surprise there, seeing more and more of how these Frankies operate. Also of note, Princess Akayo has been doing surprisingly well in her observational role, shadowing the engineering department as a means to learn more about where she would like to more permanently serve. More than shadowing, her questions and vigor to help and to be more hands-on with our department's current repairs is as admirable as it is surprising, as I've met many a Starfleet diplomat who would sooner learn Klingon than get a little grease on their hands helping the lower deck support services. As much as I've enjoyed the Princess's company and training, my work on the station is cut out for me. The Promenade has a list of weekly engineering checks I've yet to go through. However, if I can get any time away from my duties, 0G, my current battle mech, needs some serious work after getting its CPU handed to itself in the last round of battles. I'm hoping I can salvage some of the bots from the Princess's ship we recovered and meld that into some of its gear. Besides that, the mystery, for lack of better word, of this metal off of the Princess's ship continues to be investigated. If I can find a way to successfully mold this metal without losing stability, we'll have an even better structural material at our fingertips. End Chief Engineer's log.
Very nice, and you may have momentum for your efforts. So where we're going to begin today is we're actually going to shadow the good old Commodore Taraz. Now, Taraz, you're walking through the promenade, but the reason you're walking through the promenade, I'm going to leave to your discretion. But the good news is that you don't spot anything amiss at the moment. You don't see, say, the Ferengi conning anyone. Wham isn't being yelled at by Shishi or vice versa. It's very tranquil, in fact. Maybe unnervingly so. Like, of course, this can be your call, but I would like to think what I know of Taraz is that maybe she's like, where's the wrong thing? Something is wrong here. It's wrong not being wrong, kind of a thing.
Yeah, Taraz definitely would be walking around, keeping her pulse on the station, as it were, and waiting for what she knows is coming. Absolutely.
So you happen to be walking past a certain entertainment venue, which is now official canon going to be called Funland Place, because, you're walking past Funland Place, the place with all the bowling alleys, the arcade cabinets, and all the sort of like Dave and Buster's style fun things to do. But you're walking by when all of a sudden you hear kind of a clatter of what might be a tray of dishes and glasses. And you look over, and what you see is that one of the servant staff has actually dropped a tray onto the floor. And of course, he's scrambling to clean it up, and he's apologizing to the people. But as he's cleaning things up, you swear, just for a moment, that one of the glasses that is somewhat intact and shatter actually lifts up into the air and puts itself onto the tray without anyone touching it. But then the moment's passed, and, the servant has picked up everything and has cleaned up the mess and is already rushing off to get a new fresh tray.
All right. And that was inside the restaurant?
I would say you're outside, but you would have seen in.
Okay. Well, I think Taraz will just take a step in and just kind of observe in there.
Okay. Are you
See
looking for
how
anything
lively or
particular?
unlively the place is?
Unlively. Got it. So why don't you roll me a insight and command? Let's set the difficulty here at a 1. Hopefully you guys some more momentum. And if you have anything related to situational awareness, survival, all things that would apply.
Yeah, I was just looking. Don't think so. Spycraft, maybe?
I'll give it to you. I could see it applying in this instance.
Looking for the hidden things,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Survey says 3 successes. Very nice. You get 2 momentum, bringing you up to 3. So, what you notice is that most everybody, in fact, 99% of the people in here are like, having a good time. But there's one woman in the back, we'll call her a Denobulan woman. Looks like she's kind of worried, and she's like looking around like she's waiting on someone, but she's been waiting past like that. It's past that buffer time where you actually start to care, like, hey, where is my date, or where is my husband, where is the person I'm trying, like, it's obvious that she's starting to be concerned, is what I would tell you.
Dressed as a civilian.
Yeah, she's a civilian. As far as you know, not anybody that would need to come across your desk level. So not like an officer off duty or anything.
Okay. Charles will go up to the table and, won't sit at the table, but, standing across from her and just kind of clear her throat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commodore, I think, yeah?
Commodore Taraz, yes.
Oh.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Zin. And, this is going to sound like a very weird question, Commodore, but have you seen a Cation with bright gold fur with black stripes?
Does that sound like Shishista?
No, well, unless Shishista's been gold with black stripes this entire time. But
I was like, that's the only Cation I know.
Shishista is a little more of a gray.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
I'm afraid not. Is there something I should be aware of?
Well, I'll just tell you. I mean, you're the Commodore. You need to know what's going on in your station. I actually came to meet, what was his name? His name was Hod, out of character HOD. He's an ensign on your station, Gamma Shift in engineering, I think. And he was going over some new engine schematics for my shuttle. I'm in Docking Bay 3 right now. And, we met, about 5 minutes ago, and we were talking, and he got a chirp on his pad, and, I thought he was distracted, but he said it wasn't an issue. But the more and more we talked, the more distracted he seemed. And then eventually he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. And he went off to use the restroom, and I'm starting to worry. It's been like, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes at this point. I almost want to go and ask one of the waiters if they can go check on him.
As she's saying all of this, Taraz is, completely listening, but she's pulled out a data pad and it's just kind of confirming, like, yes, there's an instant HUD. Yes, she's in Docking Bay 3. Just nodding along. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All of it's checking out so far. All of it is legit.
Well, perhaps we should go look for him together then, if this is going to be a concern of yours.
If you think that's best, sure.
And then proceed to find the, I guess the shift manager of Happy Fun Place. Happy Fun Land Place.
We're just gonna keep adding adjectives to it. At one point, it's gonna be like 6 things long. Yes, actually, you do find the Betazoid shift manager. His name is, where did I put his name? His name is Wasa, Wasa. And Wasa just kind of tilts his head as you approach, and he says, nope, don't tell me. Empath, you're worried, and it's probably because you're looking for someone, right? Am I right? And, your Denobulan friend's like, yeah, that's right. How did you know? And he points at his head. Betazoid, kind of do the whole feeling thing. All right. Yeah, I'm looking for Ensign Hod, Cation, gold fur, black stripes. Oh yeah, I saw him going to the restroom. He has been in there a while. You want me to go check on him? And I think both of them look to you, Commodore, for confirmation.
Yeah, she'll nod, and if you wouldn't mind taking a moment.
Not a trouble. And he
I'll keep an eye on her.
Of course. And he gets up and he goes over and pokes his head into the restroom, and after about a minute he comes back and says, so he's not in there, but I would have seen him come out. There's no vents, there's no air ducts. To put it plainly, there's only one way in or out of that restroom, which is, I guess, technically a fire hazard. But either way, he's not in there. So I don't know how to tell you this, Commodore, but I have no idea where this ensign is.
So I had a vision of like, well, we got a plumbing problem on the station now. Okay. I'll use my communicator to call Shishista.
For flavor, what is Shishista doing when she's getting the call?
Shishista is in her quarters because, as it turns out, Wham may have come through with a little something
Do I have to make cat noises
to. Oh no! Well, I'll use one of the three, right?
Oh, is Shishista off duty right now?
I mean, is Shishista ever really off duty?
But if she put in for, she's off duty and doing something like that, I don't want Taraz to interrupt her.
No, I mean, I think she doesn't really let anyone know when she's on or off duty, unless, I mean, it's there. People can look it up, but doesn't actually actively share that information.
All right, so yeah, she'll pull out her communicator and Taraz to Shishista.
Yes, how can I help you?
Commander, could you meet me down at the Happy Funland place? We might have a situation.
I'm on my way. And as she's kind of shutting off, you can just hear the fading of, all right, now stay here. I'll be right back.
I'm still going to make the cat noises. It's too much fun.
Do it.
So maybe about, we'll say 3-4 minutes past Shishista, you walk in, the Nobulum woman gives you the same, list of what's happened, the ensign hod, etc., etc. And yeah, Shishista, you poke your head into the restroom. As the Betazoid owner said, there are no ways in or out of this restroom unless you went down the toilet. And even if you wanted to go down the toilet, you would basically be trying to fit an elephant through a hamster ball, is how I would equate it. So it's not really possible.
Well, there's only a few things I could think of that might have happened.
Taraz will turn back to Wasa and say, perhaps you should close a little early for this evening while we investigate this.
I think that's best. Let me just go around and get everyone to finish up their games, and we'll get out of your way, Commodore.
And before he walks away, she still will stop him with her body.
Oh.
Make sure no one goes into that restroom. No one.
Hold on. He awkwardly sidesteps a little bit, grabs a wet floor sign, puts it right in front of the door. All right, that'll have to do before I finish my rounds.
I'll allow it.
And yeah, so we can loop everyone in at this point. By the time Happy Fun Line plays, now I'm doing it.
It's getting better.
Yeah, by the time it shuts down, Callahan, Vokai, you've been kind of called in. You've had time to, run some scans of the area. But what I would tell you is that not only from a security perspective, from an engineering perspective, Callahan, even from a command perspective, same thing with Taraz, none of you can explain where the ensign has gone. But I'll even throw in a little bit of extra tidbit. If you inquire as to the computer's current list of personnel on the station, the number has not decreased or increased. It is exactly what it should be.
Is the computer able to identify the location of the ensign?
That is something that is unable to happen because, as we found out, we're still using communicators in this day and age where we don't quite have the comm badges that we would have in TNG. So it just sort of knows that there's roughly 1,000-something life signs, and it knows vaguely where those life signs are, but it can't single one out unless they're like the princess, who is unique.
Would it be possible to look into our fancy station model and just peek in some of the windows and just see what there is to see?
Sure. And I tell you what, you may have one other person assist you, whoever wants to. Just make sure you declare who it is. Why don't you give me, Shashista, give me an insight security. And Callahan, if it's you or Taraz, you would be doing an insight and command. Volkaya, you would be doing an insight engineering if it was you.
Who wants to help?
I
You can
will
go
try
ahead.
to
I
help.
won't though.
Command.
Callahan's got it.
Yep, I got it.
All right. Oh man, I don't. Let me propose this. Would espionage be of value?
Technically, you
Because
are
I am-
spying on the station. Yeah, I'd say that counts.
Fantastic. All right. I'm gonna use it. Oh, what's the difficulty?
Difficulty of 2 here. Well, there's your 2 to just to start. And
Hey.
let's see. One more
Hey.
extra. You go up to 4 momentum. Very nice. So it's really odd because, again, you're looking through various parts in the promenade and anywhere that has a window that you can look in. And, you're just seeing normal people moving about. But because you succeeded, what I'm going to say is that Callahan and Shashista, you both notice, and you almost would have missed this. On the promenade, there was, let's say, a Tellarite, a different Tellarite than one we've named so far. But there was a Tellarite walking towards the entertainment complex. But when you look back, or maybe right before your eyes, whichever way you'd like to flavor it, the Tellarite disappears. He's no longer there. As in, he should have been, like, if you were to literally turn and look back at the entrance to the complex, he should have been right there, but he's not.
And he disappears within the tiny ship as well as in the
Correct.
present circumstance.
Correct.
Callahan, did you see that?
I'm still trying to figure out what we just. Did you see someone disappear too?
I saw someone that I no longer saw.
Things like this don't usually happen till much later after duty. What?
Shashisa is gonna kind of bang on the top of the ship model.
Hey!
In a similar way to the way one might bang on a machine that's not working.
Percussive maintenance, as it is called.
Easy.
I'm just trying to make sure it's not fuzzing out on us or anything.
Did you recognize the most recent reality jumper?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, neither.
I wonder if anyone in the promenade saw this happen.
Yes, I'm gonna hit my communicator to. Is the Commodore or Vakaya still on the promenade?
Up to them.
Yeah, Taraz is still definitely kind of up by that bathroom, making sure nobody's going in and maybe about to investigate it herself.
Yeah.
I'll bring in Commodore. This is Callahan.
Go ahead.
Have you all seen a Tellarite there? Should be kind of just walking on the main part of the promenade.
Stand by. And Bokaya is there as well?
Yep.
Okay. And she'll kind of, nod to, Bokaya, indicate, go take a look sort of thing.
Yeah, I go scan over the promenade on my side.
Aside from Wham the Tellarite and maybe one of his clients, no, the Tellarite that the two are, Shashista and Callahan, are describing, you're not seeing him.
Negative, Commodore. I don't see any other Tellarite on the promenade right now.
Did you see any recently-ish? If you just happen to notice or anything.
Nothing unusual, no.
So we have a possible explanation, but I don't think you're going to believe us.
Hit me with your best shot.
People are disappearing, literally. this Tellurite just disappeared.
Before our eyes.
So with that, Taraz, since it had just happened, leave the spot and go over to where this Tellurite was supposed to be, and is immediately got a tricorder out and is doing scans.
Before you can even do that, you get halfway to the entrance, and then it's like one of those things where if you were walking along, say in like the crowded streets in New York, for example, because it's a classic trope, it's like you were walking along and then someone kind of like shoulder checks you, but they're much shorter, so it's kind of like a side, kind of pass, but kind of spins you a little bit, and you look down and you see nothing. You see no one, but you swear you just ran into something solid.
And still within happy, fun land, time, place.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if this can be done with necessarily a tricorder, but detecting some way to maybe expose invisible things, so something like that, like different if it can scan a different spectrum and like shine a light around it.
It actually can. That is something a tricorder can do. Go ahead, and of course, Wakaya, if you want to come over seeing this and assist. It would be a control and a science here at a difficulty of 3. And if you have anything related to radiation or anything related to what is that special focus that I never take, but it's always good, photonic application would actually apply here as well.
Yeah, I don't have anything kind of science related on her, so just be a straight roll.
What about you, Vokai? You got any focuses that might help here?
I don't really think so. Closest, no. Not so much. I don't think so.
Well, we'll just have to hope you all roll pretty well.
Exactly. Sometimes that's how it goes.
I will go ahead and spend 1 momentum.
Okay.
And then can Volkaya assist me on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a reason and science?
Mm-hmm. I think I said control and science, but reason's equally fine.
Reason? Okay.
All right, we got 1 success. Can Volkaya get you? Oh, did you roll at the same time?
I did.
Maybe?
That's what just confused me. I was like, wait,
okay.
did I hit 3 dice?
No, you're good. So that is only 2 successes. So, and this actually works out quite well. What I'm going to say is you run a scan of the area. As far as your tricorder is concerned, there's nothing hidden or invisible as you're suspecting. But the complication that I'm going to use from chat is that both of you notice, Volkaya and Taraz, you notice that one of the... So I'm trying to figure out how to say this. So let me actually define happy, fun time, place a little bit here. So for anyone who's not been in Dave & Buster's before, there's like a series of tables where you would normally get food and things like that. And then it kind of just branches out and is where, sort of like a warehouse, there's just rows and rows of entertainment devices. At the tables, which is near the restrooms, so we're near where you guys are, there is just a series of menus that is just your standard, like standard restaurant menu. And both of you are going to notice that one of the menus picks itself up, opens itself, and is now floating at about waist level on both of you.
And the commander had already scanned like an area that she thought was had something in it, right?
Correct, yes, and you assisted with that, yes.
Yeah, and that so with my assist, I would have had my tricorder out also, assuming, right?
Correct.
Can I just throw my tricorder at
the menu?
at the menu?
Sure.
At what is just above the menu?
Okay. Very distinct. Are you throwing it at the menu or above the menu?
Not the menu itself, because I'm going to hit the menu at what I think is maybe holding the menu.
Okay. Hey, hang on. As soon as this menu is just like floating, Taraz is immediately going to go over and just like pick up something, whatever's behind it. If
You
she
know
wants
what?
to throw the
we're-
tricorder there.
We're gonna see who is quicker on the draw here because I think throwing is funny. Which one of you has the higher daring?
I'm at 11.
Hers is 9.
All right. Well, in cases of a tie, also fun fact for game masters out there, daring is the initiative tiebreaker for those of you who are curious. Now, if you, of course, have two people who have the same daring, in which case I would just say have them fight to the death for your amusement. That's usually fun. But
Yes.
yeah, Vokaya, since you are first, we're going to have you throw your tricorder. And for that, since it's a ranged attack, technically, I need you to roll me a control security difficulty of 2. And chat's redeemed another complication, which I might use in a moment.
I'm going to spend momentum.
Okay. Giving you 3
to roll
dice there.
3. Yeah, totally. Because I don't have any focuses for
Hucking a tricorder.
hucking a tricorder or any melee.
Not.
That's, you know, anything like that. I missed out there. Agreed.
Well, there's your 2. So
Nice.
now we get into the even more fun part. What is your security score?
Probably not very good. Security 3.
Oh, dear. So we're going to treat this like an unarmed attack. So I need you to roll me 4 challenge dice, please. And again, you do that by the perform challenge button on the sheet.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm going to say then is you take the tricorder, you softball special it right above the menu. It impacts something just a little bit ahead, or I guess behind the menu, and the tricorder clatters to the ground. And then the menu snaps close, and the menu very angrily kind of bobs in the air over to you and just starts hitting you with itself. So the menu just starts hitting you.
She's like shielding herself at the same time yelling to the commander, I knew there was something there. I knew there was something there.
Now, of course, I also want to clarify for Shishista and Callahan, you don't see the menu, but you do see Vokaya and Taraz freaking out.
And I'm just gonna look over at Shishis to be like, I don't know what's going on, but this is kind of funny.
Is Vokai hitting himself?
It seems that way.
I don't see how this
Is
is
that the
helpful to
weirdest
what we're
thing I've
trying to
ever seen her
find.
do?
Yeah. I still don't find it very helpful.
Well, sometimes you just have to laugh.
I
You
don't do
definitely
that.
see her trying to move away from the menu.
Oh, no,
Not
you try
the
to walk
menu.
away and it follows you, keeps, just hitting you over and over again. Good news is it's a menu. It doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
Well, maybe to your
Yeah.
morale, but it doesn't do any physical stress damage.
She's trying
I'm
really
gonna-
hard. She's trying really hard to remain professional, and she's like definitely laughing or trying not to laugh as
Yeah.
this thing is hitting her.
I'm gonna chime in on the communicator and be like, hey Vakaya, you having some trouble down there?
Commander, do you currently see a menu walloping me right now?
What?
Wallop, hit.
Yes, I know the definition of wallop. What did you
She
just
gets on,
say to me?
For a second, I thought that was a Canadian term you wouldn't get. I had to clarify.
Yeah, you're good. It's all in character. We love it.
Gets on as well. Commander Vokai, I don't see how this is helpful.
Commodore, is Vakaya drunk?
I wish I was right now. If anybody, security, could come over and deal, arrest, shoot, pull off this menu from me, that'd be appreciated.
Let's say,
Callahan,
Shishista,
Shashista, stand by.
Standing by.
Right.
Taraz is gonna try to grab whatever this is. Just lift it up.
All right. What's your fitness like?
Fitness is a 7.
Roll me a fitness and a security at a difficulty of 2. Surely your power stats, from what I know of your character. Surely.
Shishista, prepare to detain a menu?
I mean,
And
I
prep
suppose it won't.
interrogation as well.
I suppose it won't take up too much space in the brig.
Why is the linguini only 15 credits? It should be 16.
You had that very heavy paperweight, if I remember correct. Should do the trick.
Well, I could just hold it too. I mean,
So 3 successes does actually get you a momentum. And yeah, Taraz, when your hand comes down, it does meet something solid. It feels like a shoulder of roughly someone of a Tellarite height.
Yeah, totally just gonna kind of pick it up.
So everybody else just sees Taraz pick up something invisible, but there is no, well, the menu obviously goes with, but he's just sort of holding something or acting like they're holding something.
Does she need both hands to hold him?
With
Or
your 7 fitness, yeah, you need both.
Okay. In that case, Volkaya, contact Dr. Webb.
She's like gets up and like straightens out all her shit, and yeah, for sure. Goes over to the wall terminal and hits the comm. For what, Commander? The doctor?
Dr. Webb, yes.
I'm guessing Shasista security as well, possibly.
Yes. Have them come back down. I'll hold on to, and she kind of does that with like this. It's like, clearly you can see this.
Yeah, she gets on the comms and contacts both the doctor and contacts back to the commander and Callahan.
All right. Well, we're going to skip ahead just a little bit to all of you in sickbay, where at this point, Taraz, you've put what you might assume is invisible Tellarite on a sickbed. And again, the only reason you know they're there is because they're still holding the menu. But at this point, Dr. Webb, who is, I don't think we've really described Webb. I think we just sort of made him a throwaway character in the first episode. So let's define him a little bit here. So Dr. Webb, he is a Master Chief Specialist. He's a non-com, as it were. He has a nice kind of like the Darkest Timeline goatee, very short jet black hair, very powerful eyebrows as well. But, he's just sort of running his medical tricorder over the menu and what you would presume to be this invisible Tellarite. He looks at his tricorder, sighs, closes it, then turns to all of you and says, well, it's the damnedest thing. As far as the tricorder is concerned, whoever this is isn't actually there. Now, they are tangible, but they are, well, I hate to say this, but they are somehow invisibility cloaked in a way, but I've never heard of any sort of technology or anything that could do something for a person. And even if they were cloaked, I guess is the word to use, they should be able to make noise, or they should be able to talk to us. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
has anyone tried to get it to talk?
Yeah, that was my thing. Is this a voluntary mute, or is this they cannot make any noise?
Well, I could stick it with a needle, and we could see if it yells. It's kind of barbaric, but it's what comes to mind.
It's like, don't handle the
Shit.
needle. And I'm just kind of gonna punch him a little, like where
You're
the
just
shoulder
gonna
would be,
punch
like,
things.
no needle. Just gonna sock him a little bit.
Okay. Again, I find this funny.
Vokoy would say that knowing it's a Tellarite, she's surprised that he wasn't swearing at her while
Right.
she was being beaten with a menu.
Fair point, Vokai.
Yeah.
You do make a good point.
Exactly.
But Callahan has declared that he is going to be punching the invisible Tellarite. So, Callahan, I need you to roll me a daring and security, please. Difficulty of 1. Two successes, you get a momentum. Now we have the fun part. What is your security score?
My security score is 4.
Oh, God. 5 challenge dice, please.
5 challenge dice. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh my lord.
Did you just knock him out?
Well, okay.
A Tellurite
So
exploded this evening.
He just goes, invisible Tellurite goes flying across the sick bay.
Welcome to Showa.
So, okay, this is the thing now. So, you punch him, and maybe you put way too much force. Like, maybe it's one of those things where you're like, you weren't expecting to hit anything. Like, you just think this is nonsense. And you put your full oomph into that punch. And not only does the menu go flying into the nearest wall, but there is an audible, like, thud as something obviously heavy as a person hits the wall. And then you notice as the menu slides down and drops to the floor that there's a trail of, we'll just call it blood, that is now trailing down the wall. And the doctor goes, "My lord, did you have to punch? How am I supposed to operate on an invisible patient?"
I have a lot of respect for that princess. Jesus.
Nurse, orderly. I don't know how we're going to do. We're just going to have to trust our sense of touch. Give me 5 cc's of cordyline and 60 cc's. And, the doctor goes over and starts to attempt to stabilize this knocked out person, whoever they are. But yeah, I'm going to be nice and say that, as funny and mean as it would be to say that you technically lethally injured him, I don't think we need to be that macabre. So we're just going to say within about 5-10 minutes, the invisible patient is stabilized, but the doctor's probably going to have very stern words for you later, Commander Callahan.
I just turned to do a small little sock, and I end up just falcon punching him across the room.
Mm-hmm. I think the doctor comments on that and says, "Well, I will be having words with you later, Callahan, but I will commend you on your ability to yeet something across a room. If I ever need boxes thrown, or if the princess comes in here and starts throwing hands, I'm not going to call Shishista anymore. I'm going to call you, because apparently we don't need Shishista anymore, because with a punch like that, we don't even need phasers. We'll just sort of shoot you out of a cannon towards the enemy."
I don't know that you want to have him dealing with anything where hands are concerned, and the princess as well.
Yeah, the proof that princess is a tank. I punched her square in the chest and nothing happened.
She also took his hand.
I'm sensing a theme with you, Callahan. First you lose the hand, I give you a new one, and then you punch...
This was the first punch I threw with that new hand.
Okay, I'm just going to write in here that I was going to yell at you later, but I think it's more hilarious if I make you go to mandated therapy for anger management. And, look, you can do couples with Princess Aiko. There you go. Congrats.
You're going to put me for anger management when someone literally throat lifted a Tellurite a little bit ago? You want to start throwing that around?
I'm sorry, who throat lifted what?
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Taraz is just looking around like, what? Commander, perhaps it's best that we focus on the situation at hand, and she'll very pointedly look at his hand.
Which I'm now going to redeem the complication from chat. Callahan?
Uh-oh.
Your hand is invisible. In fact... you look down at your arm. It is slowly disappearing.
Well,
Callahan, I hate to be the one to say this. I don't want to alarm you. But you seem to be leaving us.
Well, not under the
Contact
circumstances I had assumed, but looks like I won't have to go to anger management now.
Well, the good/bad news is it gets up to your shoulder. At this point, your legs are starting to disappear. I'm going to give you... Oh, yeah, go ahead, Vokaya.
Sorry. Does the station have internal sensors?
It does, yeah.
Obviously, right? Can I run another scan, like, separate from the original scan that Taraz ran just with the handheld?
Yeah, I like where your thinking's at. So, would you be
Yeah.
approaching this from a scientific or a medical side of a scan?
I mm, I guess right now she'd be looking at it more scientific. She'd be thinking it seems like it's something that he came into contact with that
Mhm.
is now causing this.
Sure. Let's call this a reason and science for you, and the station may assist you with sensor science for its part. So, whoever wants to roll the station.
Perfect.
Grab the
Um,
station.
Do I know the difficulty? Or sorry, did I miss it?
No, I just didn't mention it because I'm still thinking. I'm going to set the difficulty here at a 4.
Oh my.
So you may wish to spend some momentum. You do have 4. Plus, you do have
Yeah.
determination. That is also an option.
Yeah. So I'll tap my determination.
Okay.
Value patience is for the dead.
Fair.
And and then how much would one more dice cost me now that I've spent my
Another 2
determination?
momentum.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I will.
I
Pop that as
suppose
well.
since it's Callahan.
In his
If
hand.
I fully disappear, the first thing I'm doing is messing with those Ferengi.
Do you want that to be your final words?
Oh yeah, if I am going and that's it, that is going to be the last thing that I say.
Nice.
Would the only focus I could think of, would minerals and mining apply at all?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, I was taking a shot.
Well, there you go. There's your 4 successes that you need. So, all right, no help from the station, but you still get the 4 you need.
And then the
Volkaya, when you compare because, and this is me doing pseudoscience because I only know so much. I only paid so much attention during science class. But basically, when you look at something, it's either reflecting or emitting radiation or light. And that's what you see is the reflection, or you see the radiation of light. So what you're noticing is that, yeah, the commander is being enveloped by a field that is blocking all radiation and is allowing radiation to pass completely through and all light to completely pass through him. But what I'm going to give you for succeeding as well is that it doesn't seem to be shifting him out of phase. It doesn't seem to be shifting him into another plane of reality. It is quite literally almost a bubble forming around him that is sort of sealing him in.
Okay, and you said reflecting light but allowing radiation?
So I probably described that wrong. So the way it works is when you see something, it's light reflecting off that object. So
Right.
instead of now reflecting off of him, the light is passing through him.
I see. Okay. Interesting. And I don't know. My scans don't bring up any material or anything that's causing that.
I would say you do have momentum, which you could ask a question. I believe you have 2 momentum that you could spend to ask that question if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll ask that question.
All right, bring you down to 1 momentum. Yes, since you spent the momentum and you're in sickbay, you are going to notice that there is an unknown virus within the commander's system. But I'm also going to use the complication from chat to mean that you only get about half the virus's genome before Callahan makes his remark about the Ferengi and disappears completely from view. Now, Callahan, I'm going to have instructions for you during the break. But right before we go to break, I think Dr. Webb just sort of looks at where Callahan used to be, or I guess still is, and says, okay, I have assigned patients to counseling and therapy before. They've tried to get out of it, but this is a new one. This is certainly a novel experience.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I gotta hand it to him though. This is a new one.
Is there anything that would be in reach of sickbay, like that we would know as not medical officers that would color him?
I would say not that you're aware of, but now that you have the hints I've given you, you can start to work on a way to make them visible again.
Oh, for sure. She was just gonna like quickly spray paint him or chuck something on him so that he's not invisible.
I
But,
mean, if you
I
want,
don't want to
you...
I don't want to throw some random medical chemical on him and make it worse. So she won't.
I was going to say, there's probably a storage cabinet or storage locker, down the hallway you could get a quote-unquote spray can from if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that's exactly what she does. Some kind of like, orange, don't cross this line type of, and just gives him a good like X where she thinks he's sitting still on the bed.
Nice. All right. So now
Callahan
you,
is not
interesting.
there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you go to spray and you just spray the bio bed and
Yeah.
you miss Callahan.
No doubt. Just trying to help.
No, I like the idea. No, keep that idea because it's a good one. So the doctor goes, well, okay, now he's actively running away. That's a new one. I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say that Vokai, you said there was a new virus that you detected.
Yeah, it seems to be allowing all light to pass through him as a solid cell. I'm not really sure how it's working, but that's what it seems to be.
Yeah, that's a new one for me as well. Commodore, has our new science officer arrived?
Yes, I believe they should be in ops right now.
Well, this is sounding really weird for me to say, but I believe we have an outbreak of a new novel vanishing virus. And I guess if we don't stop it before it spreads to everyone, we're all going to be invisible. Though maybe that wouldn't be so bad. And at this point, we see the camera slowly pan over to where the invisible Tellarite is, and we just see a neurocaliper resting on where the guy's head would be, and we just see gauze hastily wrapped around what could be his head, and that's where we're gonna go to our 5 to 10 minute break. So we'll be back very shortly, everybody. Stick around. All right, and welcome back to part 2 of session 4 of Star Trek Showa Station. If you're just joining us, well, apparently there's a strange virus going around the station that is turning people invisible and making it so that they can't actually communicate with anyone outside of physical interaction. So that's fun. So where we're going to resume is, I want to give Callahan a moment here to shine. So, Callahan, the Ferengi kiosk in the Promenade is currently manned. Of course, we have the good Tanek, and he's just kind of showing t-shirts of Showa Station and little bits of Showa branded pens and pads, trying to hawk his wares. What starts happening to Tanek in his stand? Because I think you have a very unique idea of what's going to happen.
Yes, so we're gonna go, and the first thing I want to see, because you know how with pens, how they have the fun little springs and stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start just undoing the cap just enough, and then just kind of put it so then the spring sort of goes. So now it looks like his pens are kind of just exploding everywhere.
All right, so he turns and goes, "Hey, what? Why are my pens exploding?"
Then we're gonna go, and I'm sure he has something because in his kiosk, I picture he has the simple stuff he's trying to peddle, and then back is going to be things that are just slightly nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to start going. I'm just going to slowly just kind of start spinning them on these things because he's going to really start freaking out about that.
Okay. I maybe I had a little bit of Jumja juice. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but that doesn't seem normal. Ferengi rule acquisition number 202. If your eyes deceive you, latinum won't. So he pulls out a strip of latinum, and he pokes at one of the objects you're rotating.
Does anything happen when he does that?
That depends. Do you make physical contact with him?
No, I am trying to avoid touching him.
Okay. Then up to you if you stop rotating the model or anything like that, but he just pokes it with latinum.
I will stop rotating it, and then I will get to the spot on his shirts, and I'm just gonna slowly, like every second or so, just gonna throw one at him. So it looks like the shirts decided to attack him.
Frankie, rule of acquisition 203. When latinum fails you, run! And he starts running.
I'm gonna go there, and I'm still gonna kind of poke and check myself. I don't know. I'm like, oh, I'm still here. I'm gonna go to the liquor is logical, pour myself a drink, take it, and then head back to sickbay.
So you all still in sickbay. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes have passed since Callahan has gone missing. When, I don't know, what floats in? A glass of scotch, a martini? What just sort of floats in?
There's going to be a bottle of bourbon. And you see that it is definitely taken. It's going to pour and there'll be less.
Nice.
And it's just going to go to a chair.
I get the sense that Callahan has returned.
Yeah, as soon as Callahan had left, Taraz would definitely have worked with Webb to, initiate a medical quarantine of the station. Just because we don't know the effects of this, and obviously don't know where Callahan went.
Well, the good news is that even with medical quarantine, technically the Promenade would have been quarantined anyway because that's where this started.
Right.
So the good news is that Callahan did not violate containment. So good job there. But yeah, at this point, I think Webb just sort of looks at his console in his office and says, well, Commodore, we've got the Promenade locked down. We've got the surrounding decks sort of locked off, and we're sort of translating people through alternate areas. But I couldn't tell you if this virus is readily communicable through touch or by vapor or by anything. I would need to study it more to tell you anything. And excuse me. And he kind of like rubs his throat. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather myself all of a sudden. And if you look, his throat is beginning to disappear.
Doctor, you seem to have a throat.
And he looks at you motioning, and he grabs a desk mirror and he looks and he goes, oh, that can't be good. Okay, so when I disappear, I'm going to stay in sick bay. I'm going to keep working. And at this point, his upper and lower body are starting to disappear. His extremities are going. If I need to contact any of you or tell you anything important, I'm going to just type on this pad here in big flashing orange letters. And whatever you do, don't. And then whatever else he was going to say vanishes with the rest of him.
Of course. Taraz is going to pull out her communicator.
Okay.
And open it up and say, Taraz to Callahan. Whether or not he even attempts to respond is up to him. But she's going to at least try.
So Callahan, you would still have your communicator on you, but remember, you can't actually say anything in character.
You're going to go up and you're going to see the most sarcastic looking bottle you've ever seen walk up to you and kind of give you one of the
Well, I'll then go over and just grab a data pad and just, holding one end of the data pad, just, offering it out to him. And she'll type, have typed out something on it like, can you hear us? We can't hear you, sort of thing.
And yeah, Callahan seems to be just one way. You can hear them just fine. It's just that anything you say does not come out of your little bubble.
I will type on there. I'm like, I hear you.
So the information we're able to get, this virus is making themselves invisible, or it's creating like a little field around them. Were we able to get more info about it?
Yeah, so
I-
again, returning to Vokaya's wonderful check earlier. Yeah, it appears to be making some sort of not a subspace bubble, but some form of a pocket around the individual in question.
Possibly absorbing the light or refracting it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Would I feel this bubble around me, or is it?
You feel nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, cool.
Does Sick Bay have its own transporter?
I would say it does.
I'm thinking maybe we try to transport him, and if that would transport the bubble with him. But what is everybody else think?
I'm thinking it would, because if it's a virus in him.
Okay.
But what I would tell you, if you remember, for those of you, I think even in so even in the NX era, there are pattern scrubbers that go through there, and I think the way I'm going to get that to you in character is the good doctor types on his pad in flashing orange letters that says biofilters could filter out virus, but not a cure.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's the biofilters.
Bringing it back to like an original pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know if it saved patterns. Like, I know TNG, they mentioned that.
Right.
For sake of argument, based on what we see in Strange New Worlds, I'm going to say that it does store some patterns for some length of time. So I guess it would just be players' discretion whether or not any of you have a recent pattern.
Oh, then. Callahan, it's time to boldly go. just like press the transport button.
Okay.
Oh.
So let me make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to transporters, because transporters are one of the more complicated roles you can do, but we'll walk you through it. So I'm imagining you're literally just transporting him from the same pad to the same pad, so no difficulty increase there. Technically, you are in a transporter room because sickbay counts as one, so no difficulty increase there. Are you attempting to revert him to an earlier pattern or a pattern without the virus in it?
Yeah, I guess I think for now, just trying a straight out transport, hoping the biofilter might catch something.
Okay.
If we're able to use the limited information that Vokaya had, I know you said it was an incomplete genome, but maybe punch something like that into the transporter.
I tell you what, you've got 4 momentum. Why not spend 2 of it to make the advantage?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that okay, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. So the good news is that now that will flavor your roll. What I'm going to tell you then is, and again, you might want to work with Vokaya on this one. This is going to be a control engineering. And if Vokaya helps you, she's also doing a control engineering. If the station assists you, it's going to be, I think in this instance, it's going to be a computers in engineering rather than a sensors. But the difference is, if the station helps you, there is no increase to complication range. If Vokaya helps you, the complication range becomes 18 to 20. And I don't know if I said the difficulty already, but difficulty of 3 overall.
Your call on the assist, Commodore.
Yeah, it looks like this. You know what? Let's have Vokaya assist. Okay. Keep it interesting.
Seems very non-consensual.
And see, difficulty of 3.
And you're down to 2 momentum by my count.
Yeah, we'll use one of our momentum here. Just checking her values real quick. Or not values, talents rather. Okay.
All right, let's see. Let's just see what happens.
You're rolling engineering.
Control engineering.
You are as well, Commodore?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I have collaboration engineering.
Well, with a roll like that, I
don't
don't
need
think
it.
you can make that any better. Yeah, that's
No.
already 4 successes.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, you really wanted to transport him today. All right, that is 6 total successes for 3 momentum that you get back. So Callahan, you kind of are like wait, and you beam, and you rematerialize in sickbay, and you can see yourself again, and you can talk to people again. Also, you smell cheese. You don't know why you smell cheese, but you smell cheese.
Do we smell cheese?
No, just him.
Okay.
And I could be like, who has been eating the pimentos? What is that?
Galahad, nice to see you.
Where's my bottle? And I'm gonna go grab just another giant drink. That was unpleasant.
You know what? Chat does bring up a good point. Does the liquor become lost as well? Callahan, roll me a challenge dice. On an effect, the bottle disappears. Okay, you're good. The bottle maintains. You're good.
Good. Keep it. I mean, like,
It was that good of a transport. Commodore
Mm.
transported the bottle as well.
Mm-hmm.
it was in my hand.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well,
Okay,
that
so
worked.
that worked.
So, being in sick bay, let's get a medical scan of Callahan, just a, kind of a before and after sort of check.
Now, one thing I would ask is, who among you has the highest medicine? I know, unfortunately, Shishista, you've only got the 1. Callahan, I think you have, what, a 2? And then Vokaya, you're also at a 2. So, Taraz, you're also at a 1.
Yep.
So I guess it's just kind of dealer's choice who's going to be doing the rolling here. But what I would tell you is it would be assisted by the station in particular this time. The station would assist you with computers and medicine. And whoever wants to do the roll, I would probably say this is going to be an insight and medicine here. So,
I don't
however
think
you want to handle that.
Shishi to do it.
Okay, what's your insight like?
Insight 9. And I
Well,
don't
we're
really
the
have
exact same.
Wow. Do you have a focus maybe that would lean that way?
That's
No.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
No.
we're good science and good medics.
Mhm.
I'm with the
So-
command staff.
Well, Taraz could do the primary role, but if she was able to assist, she could use her advisor talent.
That's only when you assist using command, unfortunately.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. Usually it's one of those things where you do the presence command and say, you do the thing, and then Zuli does the thing. And, it's meant to be you really kind of directing people rather than it is, oh, I'm doing this thing myself kind of a thing.
Before I do this, can I just, everyone's squabbling, can I go over to where the doctor should be and be like, can you please do this? I know you're still here. You said you were here.
I literally was waiting for someone to say, hey, we go get the doc. So the doctor could do this if you want to look at web sheets. The only thing is he only has an insight of 7, but he does have a medicine of 5 and technically has the infectious diseases as a focus. So he could do this. You would just have to roll for him.
Sounds like a much better chance.
Yeah, let's have the doctor
Yeah.
do it.
It's
Then if
also
it
me
goes
trying to get
poorly,
you.
it's the doctor's fault.
Yes.
I already used my determination too, so
This is me trying to get you guys more comfortable with using the NPCs to your advantage here.
Right.
Yes, that's
Okay. And it'll be the doctor and the station assisting.
Yeah, so again, for the good Dr. Webb, that's going to be an insight in medicine. The station is going to be a computers in medicine. I am going to make the difficulty 4 here, I think is fair.
We should probably use some of our momentum then, shouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so insight, medicine. There is a focus. So how many momentum would we need to spend?
Actually, since the doctor has values, does he have a determination?
He technically does have determination. Though I would point out that this isn't him developing a cure quite yet.
Right, but I was just kind of looking. He had the student of the universe, driven to succeed. When in doubt, improvise. Got a lot of these would apply.
He's got a lot of good talent, or a lot of values for a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like any of those could really apply.
Because this is a difficulty of 4, correct? So we'd want to
Correct.
use 3 momentum to get 2 dice.
That would be correct.
Yep.
All right, we'll do that unless anyone has any objections.
The other thing I would point out to you is that Dr. Webb has cutting-edge medicine, which technically means that on top of your buying 2 dice, you could spend more momentum to reduce the difficulty.
Ooh, how much momentum do we need to spend to do that?
Well, by my reckoning, if you're spending 3 for the 2 additional die for a total of 4 dice rolled, you would have 1 momentum left over. So you could reduce it down from a difficulty 4 to a difficulty of 3.
Do we want to use all of our momentum? I feel like this might be a very crucial thing to understand from this scan. But what do you all think?
It seems relatively important, I would say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd agree.
Okay, then we will do that.
All right, well, there's already 4 successes, which is a good thing. And now just need to see a computer's medicine from the station, whoever's got the station.
Yeah.
There you go, another success, 5, meaning that you get a grand total of 2 momentum back. And what you're going to notice is that Webb's pad is just, it's a flurry of activity. It's like, it's a Hollywood trope, but you know how like whenever there's a hacking scene, we kind of see people just bunch of visual basic GUIs and little command windows pop up. It's kind of that same thing. And as the good doctor just works feverishly on his pad, and eventually he kind of stops, and the I guess you would call it barrage of information stops. And he types out in orange letters, "Think I have cure will involve using interesting patient."
That's an
Define
interesting patient.
And hey,
Eyebrow
Choco
raid.
Jacks, thank you for the raid. Hello. What I'm going to say, the interesting patient is going to be typed back, and it needs to be a feline. So it doesn't have to be a actual cat. It can be a cat. It can be a cation. It can be anything that is of the feline variety.
Commander, this seems like you are itching to help the station in your many, many talents.
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah,
It's going there.
well, we can't break quarantine, and you're the closest feline we have.
And you see her claws kind of going in and out. Some hair is standing up. Fine.
Don't want to be angry now.
And she'll just like hold an arm out, waiting for the doctor, anybody to grab it, I guess.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, again, the doctor's still invisible. He hasn't used the transporter check to, get himself visible again for whatever reason. But he has kind of put this pad down, and he's kind of got one of those hypo sprays, and you just, again, the hypo spray is floating over to your arm, and it kind of goes on your arm, and you feel just a slight pinprick, but you see that the vial on the back of the hypo spray just fills up with a bit of sample of your blood. And then the hypospray comes away. The vial of blood is popped out of the hypospray, and it's, if you'd like to imagine him holding it up to the light and kind of swirling it around, and you kind of see the vial look back and forth, or kind of move back and forth a little bit, kind of wobbling. And then he picks up the pad and says, "All right, I might have a way to get a cure, but I'm unsure about how to deliver it to the rest of the station.
What would you need, Doctor?
And he types back, either we need to reinvent how we use the life support systems, or we're just going to have to set up a clinic where everybody comes into sick bay.
I think the life support systems seem like the first pick.
Yeah. Can you completely redesign life support systems and you have an hour?
Yeah, for sure. I've always wanted to take a look at these systems. I'm guessing we're going for aerosol delivery.
Doctor types back, yes, that's what I was hoping we could manage.
So for her to attempt this task, obviously she's stuck on the promenade, right? I don't have access to
Well, that's the thing, is that you've got access to sick bay, you've got access to the promenade, you've got access to 1 or 2 decks on top of that. You can't go to ops, you can't go to your quarters, but
right.
You still have a wide variety of environmental systems you do have access to.
Okay. So yeah, with that, she would ask the Commodore if she could head out to try to complete that task and head to the nearest, easily accessible environmental console.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, if somebody wants to go assist, or Taras could leave with her as well.
Your call?
I feel like you don't want me messing with this.
Yeah.
Don't go to messing with the bourbon, and look what happened with that. So
Yeah, Commander, the last thing I need is a tipsy a tipsy officer in my way.
Wow.
all right, then Mr. Shista, keep an eye on things on the promenade. Hopefully this
Understood.
hasn't spread any further than what we already know. And Vokaya and I will go to see the life support system here on the promenade.
So it's a really eerie thing when you all arrive on the promenade, where normally the space is packed with people coming to and fro, going about their business, their daily lives. There's still some of that, but for the most part, you're just seeing floating, I hate to say menu or hypo sprays or whatever, but you see various objects being moved about by people as they explore what they can do while invisible. And just to annoy Shishista, because it's fun to annoy Shishista for some reason, you would see that a certain Tellarite named Wham, you would assume is being invisible. You see him someone taking things from the Ferengi stall, but then you look over at Wham's general store. You see somebody who's doing the latinum between their fingers thing, taking thing from Wham's stall, and there's mutual looting going on there is what I'm getting at. But for Taraz and Vokaya, you arrive at one of the main air circulators for the promenade, and you pop it open, and I'm going to give you guys an option here. Now, Vokaya, I know you are sort of engineered to be a miracle worker meant to do extended tasks. However, I would also point out that time isn't necessarily the factor here. You've got a way to, make a stopgap measure or make someone uninvisible again. Mm-hmm. So rather than an extended task, I think in this instance, it's more appropriate to do a high difficulty task. So what that is going to mean is this will be a daring and engineering. Taraz, you may assist with your own daring engineering or presence engineering, whichever you'd prefer. And I am going to set the difficulty at a 5 overall. But the good news, if you pass this, you're home free.
Okay. All right. Difficulty 5. You said it was, what was the task role again?
Daring and engineering for you.
Daring. Thank you. Daring engineering. Promenade maintenance would
definitely be
apply?
a thing, because you're on the promenade working with an air circulator, so for sure.
Perfect. I'm going to spend some momentum if you all are good with that.
Yep.
Sure.
Please do.
How much you want to spend here?
So 4 would get me how much?
So 3
many
would get you
dice?
4 dice. You
Mhm.
would have to give me 4 momentum and 2 threat to roll all 5.
I'm gonna do that because I have bold engineering, so I can
Oh, so you
reroll.
get the free reroll. Yeah.
Yeah, might as well do it at the last ditch invisible effort here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all I got.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You are set up to succeed here. Let's see what happens.
Definitely.
Don't say
You're
things.
fine.
Jinx.
You're
Jinx.
fine. That's an 8. You're fine. If
This
it
time.
matters, I guess you technically have 3 momentum now. But yeah,
It
so
matters.
Volkaya, you can of course flavor this how you wish, but I'd like to imagine it's like one of those Scotty things where he's like, Captain, I'll do it in 2 hours, and then you like do it in 15 minutes, and we see that the air circulators begin to like mist a little bit as the aerosol begins to distribute its way through the rest of the station, and all around you, for those of you that are looking around the promenade or anywhere within quarantine, people begin to rematerialize before your eyes. And as people begin to realize that they're visible again and that they can hear each other and talk, and there's kind of a loud cheer, a loud commotion in the promenade. But which again, what we do is kind of confirmation of is we see the Ferengi brothers caught red-handed in Wham's stall, and we see Wham caught red-handed in the Ferengi stall. And they kind of do that Spider-Man pointing meme where they just kind of point at each other, and then they look to Shishista, and then back at each other, then back to Shishista, and they just drop whatever the hell they were trying to loot and run. They just run.
Nice.
She'll wait for now. ... maybe glance and see what the rest of the command group is doing before giving chase.
Ross just would give a very slow nod of approval.
Oh, she's gone. She's gone then.
Yeah, you just see Fur in her place.
Yeah, I want to imagine she goes and just like scoops up the brothers under one arm, scoops up Wham under the other. And
Nice.
it's going to not be a good time for them.
Rule of acquisition 204. When you're caught, bribe. How much Latin to let us go?
The more you say that, the worse it's going to be for you.
What if I got you another kitten? Would that let you let me go?
We'll talk.
What is this kitten you speak of? Well, it's a small feline, about yay big. Is that more valuable than latinum? Well, to her it is, apparently. We need to make a rule of acquisition about this. But yeah, as we wrap up today's session, our final scene is actually going to be in sickbay, where Callahan, I'm just out of curiosity, how much of that bottle of bourbon is left?
Half to a third.
Half to a third. Reasonable. So, you're having fun with Dr. Webb, and Dr. Webb has, of course, rematerialized himself. He's kind of just letting you have fun with your little bit of drinking. But walking in is Princess Ayako, and she kind of walks in and says, I'm sorry, I seem to have slept through a quarantine. What am I supposed to do in that kind of situation? Am I supposed to report here? Security? I mean, you were closest, Commander. That's why I came here.
Can we scan her real quick? Make sure she's not had... Because you have different physiology. Let's make sure with your trick, we say that this virus doesn't do anything extra with that.
Webb goes over, gives her a scan, and goes, well, at least we know where it came from now. And the princess kind of looks down and goes, whatever do you mean where it came from? I'm not spreading any viruses. Well, that's the thing. You're not doing it on purpose. You remember the Averni, the jellyfish song people? Oh yes, lovely individuals. I actually have a recording that I was listening to. Yeah, apparently something in their biology interacted with yours, and your body put out the virus. So guess we get to name this thing after you. What are we gonna call it? The Ayako flu? The Oaka influenza? And the princess just kind of looks at Callahan confused. I'm sorry, he wants to name what after me?
An invisible disease.
Aren't all diseases by definition invisible to the naked eye?
Yeah, but this one turns you invisible. So
Well, that just sounds fun. What? I missed it. Why did I miss this?
it was mildly entertaining.
Well, now I'm kind of bummed out. And she actually reaches for the bottle of bourbon almost as if she's asking for it.
And say, and I'm gonna gladly like, let's go.
Nice.
But you get to buy the next round. After
I think
this.
that's fair.
Let's
You know
go.
what? That is very fair. Yes. And yeah, as the two of you just sort of share a drink, we kind of zoom out of sickbay, zoom out of Showa Station. That's where we're gonna end today's little session. So yeah, quick little fun adventure. All things considered. I do have to give a shout out. This is from the mission briefs, TNG Anomalies. This is the unseen mission brief. And when I read this mission brief, I knew I had to run it immediately with my own flair. Would definitely recommend it, throwing this at your starship, or heck, even a colony or another station would be perfect to run this adventure on. But yeah, overall, I hope you all had a wonderful time with it.
Yes.
Definitely. That was a lot of
Absolutely.
fun. Yeah.
Love it.
And
All
intriguing. I wasn't expecting the princess to be at the end of that, so.
Well, that's the one thing that the mission brief doesn't tell you, is it doesn't say where the virus comes from, or it doesn't say what the virus cure is supposed to be. So, of course, you get the ELH flavor.
Always. It's cool.
Yeah. So this is, we're going to end the recording for YouTube, but Twitch stick around because we're going to rate somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.